Jumbo, fellow adventurers, Mike Dooley, Spiritual Tune Up, the week of Christmas. Hope you're all in the Christmas spirit, doing great. A lot of interaction based on yesterday's Spiritual Tune Up. Yesterday we talked about, does everything happen for a reason? And the recurring theme of many questions posted below that video on Facebook and Instagram is like, what about the really horrible manifestations? Are they orchestrated by our thoughts becoming things? Are they part of our unintended manifestations? Okay, this is a heavy, heavy, heavy one. And I'd like to point out that there are over 200 spiritual tune-ups available at Facebook, my page right here, and on Instagram, all for free, where I dive deep into the most difficult, hard to answer questions. But because so many people asked about this, I thought I'd go there lightly again today. I know that this is a prickly area, but I go there because there's nothing more important than you understanding the truth about the nature of reality. And there's nothing that will be more debilitating to anybody than not understanding the truth. And to think that bad things happen to good people for no apparent reason or because the devil is lurking, whoo, you got no power. You got zero power. Things are not going to go well overall because you believe you can be a victim. You believe you are vulnerable. You believe bad stuff happens. There is no bad. There is no good. There is no horrible. And that's why I always do this. What about really horrible manifestations? That's the topic today. Horrible. Horrible to who? Can't tell you how many cancer survivors I've met who have said cancer was among, if not the greatest blessing, gift of their entire life. Can't tell you how many people who've been through horrible things look back and realize it made them who they are today in a wonderful way. Now, that doesn't mean the cancer was beautiful. The cancer is disgusting. It destroys human flesh. There's nothing good about cancer. From the lens of the human perspective, the physical senses, oh my God, horrible abounds. Ugly, hideous, disgusting abounds. Even with a spiritual lens, it's fair to say many things are pretty disgusting that can happen in time and space. But when you stand far enough back from the equation, there is always order. There's always perfection. There is always love. And you're much better off, and you serve yourself and your loved ones better if this is the road you choose, rather than thinking wicked bad things can happen for no good reason and I'm less than who I was because of what happened when I was 12 or because I lost so-and-so, or it's like those are all lies, and you set yourself up for more horrible manifestations. So let's break it down, and please, I don't want to offend or ruffle any feathers, but you deserve to know the truth. The truth is all powerful. There's only love. You are supported. We're all eternal beings. The people you've lost, you haven't lost. They were ready. You are not. There's still more reasons to be happy today than there are reasons to be sad in every single life. So one of the first questions I always get when I'm explaining thoughts become things is like, Mike, how can you say it's as predictable as gravity when, number one, there's things that I've wanted that I've never got? Where's the predictability in that? The reason some thoughts have not yet become things is because other thoughts of yours have, and they got in the way. Not every single thought becomes a thing. I'm thinking Hawaii, I'm thinking California, but I'm in Florida. Neither one of those came to pass. I have to act on them. I have to be congruent with them. I have to do something about them. And then the one that I believe in the most, that I want the most, that I speak about the most, will come to pass. So lots of thoughts don't become things. But what does happen is because of other thoughts of yours that did become things. Then the other big question I get is like, Mike, you say it's as predictable as gravity, but how do you explain those things that happen in all of our lives, good, bad, and hideous, that we never thought about in advance? Mike, whose thoughts are those? It's so easy. Might not be what you most want to hear. And yes, there's many layers and levels of this to truly get it. But on the surface, it's really easy. Whenever the unthought of manifests in your life, the unthought of manifesting in your life, it is always because it is part of a journey to a further destination that you have thought about. And the only way for life and the soup of all manifestations and this continuum that we now believe in, the only way life could get you there is to draw you through unthought of territory. My little example, I live in Orlando, Florida. Sometimes I like to go to South Beach, Miami. I love it. So exciting. Sizzle everywhere. I'm even learning the language, thanks to my Latina wife. And so I'm in Orlando, and I'm thinking about South Beach, Miami. So I'm really into this, so I'm going. I get in my car. I'm driving down the turnpike. In the journey to Miami, since I'm not yet able to manifest spontaneously in Miami, that day's coming for all of us. Since I go through this journey, I don't know what smiling and frowning faces I'm going to see on the road. I don't know where I'm going to stop for gas ahead of time. I don't think any of those thoughts, but yet I experience them. I don't know what radio stations I'm going to listen to. I don't know what songs I'm going to hear. I don't know where the highway will be under construction and I'll be forced to take a detour this time. A detour. That's such a good metaphor for what we're talking about. There's detours often on the way from Orlando to Miami, and I don't think about those. But by continuing to think of Miami and doing something about it, I am literally drawn through unthought of territory, which does not imply anything could happen. No. Only things in alignment with my view, my beliefs, my expectations on reality could happen. Okay, I'm not going to get abducted by a UFO, probably. I'm not going to get in a gunfight with somebody on the interstate because I don't have a gun. So, some things cannot happen. But whatever does happen would be in alignment with all of my other thoughts and beliefs about the nature of reality, human beings, myself, etc. So lots of times in life, the unexpected happens, the unthought of happens. That doesn't mean it was thrust upon you. Now, I know that there's a lot of, let's just say, hideous, disgusting violations that happen to people, that happen to children, that happen to animals. And I take these tangents and I go there in earlier spiritual tune-ups. I'll go there a little bit more closely now, but I'm not going to go all the way. Nothing's going to put a smiley face on some of the really ugly things that happen. But it is easy to put a smiley face on some of those things that you thought were awful that can turn out to serve you so well. For example, we often think that the absolute worst thing that can happen to a human being in time and space is that they die. Come on! One door closes, another one flies open, and the marching bands begin, and there's confetti and celebrations and joy. Now, I know it's bedlam back home for the people they left behind, but we all have the ability to realize they've gone home. They are bathed in love. They are being celebrated. They are seeing their life in retrospect. They're learning their lessons. They're planning the next one. And they're with you every moment of the day. You still have life. They're cheering you on. You might say, oh, but we planned our life together and he was taken or she was taken from me too early, or they were only a child. There was lost opportunities. Look, if a child goes to Disney World instead of Universal Studios theme park, is there a lost opportunity? Yes, but nothing to be lamenting about, because wherever you go in these sacred jungles of time and space or beyond, it's just nothing but love and joy and infinite possibilities because we are eternal. And so those of us left behind have the duty to those that we said goodbye to and to ourselves to get clear on the truth and to understand that this is one big adventure in the mind and heart of God called time, space, and matter. And it's fleeting and temporary for all of us. And we all have the space and the bandwidth to get it on, be happy, happier than we've ever been, no matter who's in our life. And there's always room for new people in your life. And there's room for more dreams coming true. And those people that you lost, you will be with them forever. and ever and ever and ever and ever. And so that you might have to spend the next 20 or 50 or 100 years without them, even though they're there in the ethereal, it's not so bad. They're okay. They want you to be happy. We all have freedom. That means sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we have unintended manifestations, but even the unintended manifestations add to who we are. Okay, fellow adventurers, woo! Life is so beautiful, and you are so powerful, and you're pushed on to greatness every day. Coronavirus, no coronavirus. Sick, not sick. Healthy, cancer, AIDS, grief. You're bigger than all of it. And that's one of the reasons you came here for this adventure, just to rock and roll and to be a light and to shine on. Because you were on the other side, everywhere, always at once. And you said, let me just step out for a moment into time and space. Let me see what all the hubbub is about. And here you are, down the tunnel. Oh my God, it's all good, it's all bad. It's boom, you're going to be back in the palm of God's hand, and you're going to find out you never really left. All right, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Wednesday, the eve of Christmas. And lots of love to all my friends out there. David, oh yeah, brother. David, Ann, Chris, Mary Ellen, Marie, Winnie, Shannon, and then on Instagram, Buki, Monday, Animal Reiki Lady, always on time, Linda, and all right, Meditate KC, go on. Have an amazing Tuesday, everybody. See you mañana.